popular demand. Card subject to change has returned for your viewing pleasure. Back with episode number
15.
15.
Yes.
And we are not sponsored, as always, by this time around, Ballatin Whiskey. We will take the sponsorship. If anybody knows anybody that's related to people that work there, want to sponsor some three handsome, rugged, grizzled gentlemen, we will take it.
You all say you love the show.
That's right.
Nothing but compliments and high marks.
So
I mean, if you want to throw
I'm a happy drunk.
Sponsorship. Yeah.
So I've got a fun topic for us today to discuss that I think the three of us can really get into a fun discussion with, and I think this would benefit all of the independent workers out there, young and those that are even tenured. And I know a lot of times we talk about what's going on in the independents, and this still plays into that. But I think this kind of goes into more of what we can do to tell people what to look for when studying certain people for certain things. And I think we talk about some of the best strikers in the history of wrestling and what to look for in these type of talents to help independent wrestlers kind of figure out who they want to emulate, why they should emulate these type of individuals. And it doesn't just go back to those that are in the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, even the those that are out there today.
That was me. Sorry.
Right. I'm trying to put it over. But yeah, let's talk about some strikers. I know we all have we have our own favorites. I think some we can agree on, some we may disagree on. But kind of just starting off the bat, like I think people and fans and even maybe indie workers tend to think that strikes are just punches and kicks. And I think between the three of us, strikes are much more than just that. You know, I pass it off to you first, Darius, because you probably have, to me, after finally working with you one-on-one, probably have one of the most snug European uppercuts I think I've ever felt in my life, which I absolutely love. But I mean, I start with you on that. But you know, talk to me about like, you know, strikes beyond like punches and kicks. Like when you hear strikes, what comes to mind?
Precision too.
Yeah.
With strikes, I think that's something you can do to everybody. That's the first thing I think.
Yeah.
I think one of the most difficult things is like, what can I do to this guy? What can I do? This guy's big, this guy's small. And when you're first starting out, you know, you wrestle a big guy, you don't want to. Because you're like, I can't do my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we can be honest. When I was starting in 2008, 2009, I see a big guy and I was like, can't do anything. I got the drop kick, I got an NZ. What am I gonna do? But it's like you have to put yourself in the situation, you got to put yourself in the environment, and that's the fun of it, right? That's the whole joy of it. And strikes are things you can do to everybody. You may not be able to pick everyone up, you may not be able to do a certain move, but you can I can European everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, always wanted to have a strike that was different. I always came up on, of course, European wrestling. That was my thing outside of just watching traditional American wrestling. So I was like, I want to do something that's different. So I always committed to the European, and I just practiced. Practice makes perfect. It just clicks.
Yeah.
If you just practice, it's kind of like the kip up. You know, I can kip up. I just practiced it. Just one day I was able to do it. If you just practice, commit yourself to something, physically, mentally, over and over again, repetition, your brain, your body, it'll teach you. I believe in that. Next thing you know, you're able to do it.
Yeah.
So Europeans, I just click. I can hit you in the same spot. I can throw 10 of them and get you in the same area. And that's something I can do to everybody. I can do it to Maff. I could do it to somebody the size of the Beast Man. You know, I can do it to a small guy, you know, to everybody.
I think strikes are very underrated in a way where I think a lot of times workers or wrestlers on the independents, they just tend to go gung-ho on strikes and also don't realize that strikes are able to be used as a way to not only get your dance partner in position for something when done correctly, but can also help enhance a transition in a specific light as well, depending on what that strike is, right? We've seen everybody throw a million punches in a match and just kind of expose what a punch is. But if you know how to throw a good one, you don't have to throw that many punches in a match, and you can learn how to supplement different strikes.
Yep.
I don't, Maff, I mean, you've used an array of different strikes in your career. I mean, what do strikes mean to you when you hear that word beyond punches and kicks?
You gotta put some mustard on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to work snug.
Yeah.
I'd rather take one good one and sell that and put it over and complain about it all night, you know, and tell a story around that shot. Then, you know, go out there and throw a bunch of strikes, and you're just wasting it, you know, for the sake of.
Oh, my goodness.
If you're in a street fight, you know, you get blasted, you're not looking. It only takes one shot. In what world? I mean, I know if I'm in a street fight and I gotta hit a guy more than 3 times, I'm in trouble.
100%.
No, you're right.
100%.
You know,
100%.
yeah. So,
100%.
you know,
You're right.
Yeah, so why are we exposing where, and I'm not being mean when I say this, why are we exposing where you got a 130-pound wrestler throwing 20 strikes against a guy who's 220 pounds and he hasn't gone down?
That's what I don't understand.
You know,
See, but there's
Control.
I feel like there's a beauty to it too.
Yeah.
Like I would love to watch Ric Flair versus Ronnie Garvin. You know, Ronnie Garvin was a great striker, but he would not throw the fist until
He had the opening.
it was a climax.
Yeah.
Expert precision.
And
too.
that guy wasn't getting up. He
Yep.
would chop, he would headbutt.
Yep.
You know, he would do the Garvin stomp. You know,
And those are all strikes.
yeah.
In all positioning.
And Flair had the chop.
Yeah.
I love Tajiri. Tajiri to me was like the trendsetter in the strikes.
You had to notice
and
them.
With his feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Educated feet and stuff like that. You know, I love to see like if you have 2 guys that are good strikers and one is punching, I like to see one punch answer with a chop. Punch, chop. Like, you know, like I don't mean to beat this over the head, but when I've worked Darius,
Yeah.
I know Darius has that Euro, and I tell Darius, I said, Darius, do not get stingy on those Euros. I want you to throw it. I want live rounds. He's right there.
Yeah.
I want live rounds.
Yeah.
Because I want to sell it.
Yeah, you want to feel it. You got to feel it. And that's the thing to me about pro wrestling. I don't understand the guys that, or the gals or whatever it is, that are trying to pre-bump on a strike or...
Better than it smells.
I know, right? Kind of gets that little hit at the end, right?
Yeah,
That little hit to
runs
the
right
chocolate
down.
mint.
Right.
Cheers.
It's been too long.
the-
It's been too long.
Way
We're back
too
in the
long. Way
studio,
too
though.
long.
We're
Yeah,
back in
way-
the studio.
Way too long. They're feeling it too. I know they feel it. Yeah.
But I think the essence of it is that, to me, I've always felt that way because it was the way that I was taught is, how can you sell something you can't feel?
There it is.
You
Well
know,
done.
Because you can't, if you can't feel it, how do I know how to put it over for you?
How do you connect to it?
Yeah, how do you connect? And how does it, because to me, you know, you talk about live rounds, I've got to feel something with it because that's going to drag some aggression out of me. That's going to drag some emotion out of me because I have to be able to put myself in this position that if this is a real fight and you just nail me with a solid Euro or Maff nails me with one of those fucking chops, I'm going to feel that. And it's got to fire me up in some way that if I were saying to myself, if I were on a street corner and you hit me with one of those, am I going to fucking stay down and just let you kick the shit out of me?
Terry Funk.
Yeah, or am I going to try to find a way back to my feet because I'm going to fucking nail this motherfucker. He's going to find one, I'm going to find one opening where he doesn't have his hands up and I'm going to catch him right with one.
Yep.
You can't feel that with some of these guys that are out there. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, right? But you can't work light as a feather and expect me to be able to feel something that I can put over for you and the paying audience if it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's
right?
only unless they're like really adept at other things.
Yeah.
Where they get around that. There are some guys that may be really, really light, but they're experts at calling where they can talk really low and in a way that you can. But for the most part, yeah. 100%. There has to be an element of physicality, and even if you was talking about Bret Hart, even if you listen to Bret and Bret saying he didn't hurt anyone, this and that, but there was still physicality. There was still an element of whip when he threw his punches. There was an element of whip. There was a snap. There needs to be that.
And he was a sidewinder.
Yeah,
he would punch from the side. There's guys that punch from the side. There's guys. I like to go right here.
Same here, yeah.
I like to go right here. You know?
I don't even throw a punch.
No.
If you watch any Darius Carter match, if you can go and find a Darius Carter match where I've thrown a closed fist, please come. I'll pay your ticket to a show.
And I've come to a point where I will only throw a punch if it needs to, or if it has to be, and I won't overexpose throwing them. Because I like doing other things. I like to make sure that my offense looks unique and different. But I also want to do it in a way, too, and I think where a lot of people make mistakes in throwing strikes is not throwing it the right way when you have a photographer on you. To me, when you have a photographer on you, and I've gotten some great pictures where there's a cock all the way back. The picture tells 1,000 words. You know something is coming. But, you go back to a Bret Hart, I watched the match again recently. I've probably seen it 50 times. His match on Raw against 1-2-3 Kid. There's a spot in the match where there's a corner cam, and you can just feel Bret lighting him up with those euros. You can just hear the sound of
the flesh
on chin.
There's
and
nothing like it.
No, and to me that's because if it can make the audience member in the crowd or home go, oh, that's gotta hurt. Like how's that not like, because it's legit. But we're taught as professionals that you should be, and maybe I'm exposing this, but we're taught to hit snug in positions that won't truly hurt somebody.
Snug in safe places.
Right. You know what I mean? Because what we're working on is an art form here, but an art form that is physical, and it's not for the weak at heart. You can't talk all this trash about wanting to get in a ring with a Darius Carter or a Danny Maff, and now you're feigning things, you're pre-bumping. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It's a give and take process, and I say this to my students all the time. It was a phrase that I was taught at a seminar very early on from Honky Tonk Man. Either we're both going to look good or I'm going to look good.
All right now.
And that's it. And that's how we're going. I mean, I know you've been trained by some of the most hard-hitting fucking guys you've probably ever been in the fucking ring with.
Right.
You know what I mean? You same way. I mean, we've all worked with guys. You've had those tours in Japan where you're working where they're not doing nothing but laying shit in, even stiff.
Yeah, you got to bring it, because if not, they're gonna eat you for lunch.
Yeah. And that's the other thing
respect.
too. Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm gonna nail you with one and you're gonna hit me with like a Hershey kiss, like come on, man, like no. Now I have to bring it up a notch because I need to get the story back on track. I need to find a way for them to believe you and believe me. And that's the one thing I think is missing from a lot of independent wrestlers is learning how to throw good strikes, but also learning how to throw good strikes without having to show 1,000,001 people that you're slapping your fucking leg to make noise. Not every strike needs to make noise.
Nope.
And if all your strikes are making the same noise, that's a red flag.
Right, and maybe if cut out some moves, maybe, and work on your strikes, right? Especially if you're someone that wants to get on a TV level, you want to be wrestling internationally, you want to be wrestling multiple times. The whole point of wrestling multiple times a week is to get your reps in, is to improve upon yourself. So if you feel like your strikes are weak, go to training, but there's nothing like being in a ring. Because you're going to hear the crowd while you throw that strike. I can tell if my strike was great, A, from the noise that it made, and B, from the crowd reaction. Because I'm listening, everything that I do, which is I wish a talent that more people, I know it's not easy, but try to teach yourself to listen to the crowd. If you could, a word of advice, try to open your ears to it. I know sometimes you're so in your head about what's next and I got to do this, got to do that. And that's why strikes help so much, because that reaction from the crowd, when you throw a confident strike and you hear that crowd, there's a confidence with that. When I throw that euro, I know my euro is foolproof, no matter who I'm facing. Dan Maff, you, Joey Janela, whoever the case, anybody. I know. MBM, whoever, a girl, whatever. Anytime I hit you with a euro, I know it's going to work. Crowd's going to react. All right, here. All right, I need you on the ground. Take this on the ground. Oh, crowd reacts because it's authentic. It feels real. It feels gritty. They hear that noise, like we talked about, that flesh. Working on your strikes. Maybe take a move out. Work on that. Make sure you have a good strike. Make sure you have. I think it's essential in today's wrestling. The way that wrestling has evolved now, you need to have a strike.
But you also need to have a diverse mindset. And when I think about strikes, I'm going to pass it to Danny for a second because I would love his opinion on this, right? One thing Danny does better than anybody is the senton. And to me, a senton is not a move. He's literally using his body as a weapon, and to me, that's a strike. I don't know if you would consider that
it's
a strike. But I mean, your opinion on that and just being unique with the different things that you do.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be different. You have to think outside the box. You know, like in reality, if you punch somebody in the head, what's gonna happen? You're gonna break your hand.
Yeah,
you're gonna break a knuckle. That's why I like to punch in the ear.
Yeah.
I like to grab the ear safely, punch somebody in the ear. I like to bring the arm back, punch in the ribs, pull the trunks out, bring the belly button out, punch in the stomach.
I like palm strikes.
You know, a palm strike will work as well. I don't throw good palm strikes, but they work for those who can do it.
Yeah. I like winding up and throwing that one strike to the mouth.
I love to watch.
Only one. It's all you need is one.
And mine's like an inner. It's an inner. It's like a grab you with a headlock. It's not a Japan.
No. I love getting Euro.
Yeah.
It's like
but if you know how to throw a Euro, I love getting Euro.
People love the Euro battles.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. Let's say here's a moment. Let's take a moment in time before we continue.
There's been some your Euro.
If you want a Euro battle, guys,
and God rest his soul, Jay Briscoe.
If you guys want a Euro battle, understand the science of a European uppercut. Darius, how do you throw a good one? Let me tell you something. I'm not aiming for the larynx. I'm not aiming for the throat. Okay, it's chest, noise. I get in those matches, and I know, we get in there, and people are excited. They're like, oh, I'm wrestling Darius, or I'm wrestling Maff. And they get these ideas. And it's like, listen, I know I just activated him. I just saw Frankenstein's monster just get activated from the chair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but this type of, hey, same time, same place. Every time. If I hit him with 11, he knows exactly where those 11 were. And same thing with you. And it's like, and it's placement.
And you got plenty of meat here.
Yeah, people get excited. If you can't throw one, if you haven't practiced one, guys, don't do one because people are watching. Okay, and your reputation is on the line.
Of course.
If you throw something sloppy, it could throw off your character. That's how I think. I look at myself as though people are watching my every move. Because that's how I've built Darius Carter, as someone where you have to watch everything that he does.
Don't let people poke holes in your shit.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to. Like, and everybody has their own way of doing things. Like for me, punches, I don't throw many. But I like grabbing a guy by the ear or by the beard. I like grabbing with the right hand. I like twisting their head to the side and just aiming right for the mouth or the side of the nose and just, bam, getting them. It's just different. It's different. And I think what's missing on the independents are guys that can throw good strikes, I feel, and I'll be very real, there are more shindy wrestling schools out there that by people who should not be running a wrestling school, unfortunately taking people's money, than there are legitimate schools that are out there. And they're not teaching, not just strikes, not teaching everything the right way, but when you see these videos on social media, it's like I feel bad for the talent because it's like I wanna be able to come through the camera and pull them out of that and say, please go somewhere legitimate and stop bastardizing the art form that the three of us and so many are trying to make better and leaving it better than the way that we found it.
Right.
And when I watch people do this, like, do you not take any pride in anything that you do? You can't tell me that you study tape and you go out there and you're throwing these bullshit strikes that would not fucking hurt a fly. Yeah. And it just, I mean, you and I've watched it, and we've not trying to laugh about it, but it's hard not to, because these individuals are taking themselves seriously. And it's like, if I'm a first-time fan coming to a show and I watch this, I'm leaving that show saying to myself, well, if this is what independent wrestling is, I'm never coming back. I'm just going to sit on my couch and watch Raw, SmackDown, AEW, TNA Impact, whatever it is. Like, they're never going to go to a show because they've basically had their aura of what independent wrestling is ruined by individuals who aren't taking pride in their craft. Yeah. And to me, one of the easiest things you can take pride in if you're not the greatest bumper, the greatest seller, the greatest move taker, learn how to take a good strike. Learn how to sell a punch. It's not that hard. I mean, and I know you and I have had the conversations around it. I mean, what's your take on what you've seen?
I love to watch Terry Funk sell. I love to watch, Terry and Flair. Just the way, the way he would put over Flair's chops. The way he would sell, it was real. It was a stinger.
Yep.
It was real. It sucked. And
you didn't need moves. You're never looking at a Terry Funk match and going, man, I need a superplex.
Man.
You know what I can't wait for? The power bomb.
Kurt Hennig and Bockwinkel, Gunther, Ilya. Ilya Dragunov, man. Tell me right now, man, that you can. Let me tell you something.
Sami Zayn.
If you're watching Ilya Dragunov, if you see Ilya Dragunov and you go to the bathroom or you fast forward, man, you ain't got a soul.
Nope.
No, you have to feel. You have to feel when that man wrestles.
That man
there's something
makes
you
me feel from his entrance, just the way he walks out.
The intensity, the aggression, and a fight is about to happen. He's one of the
The way that man sells everything.
Yep.
The way he puts everything means something, and he makes that other guy so much more credible because of the way that he sells. And Terry Funk was like a master at that, man. He would just sell.
And the way he would sell strikes on his feet. And the other one that's close to that, who was more of a comedic seller, but it was a legitimate comedic sell, who also, to me, is, in my opinion, top 10 strikers, Dick Murdoch.
Yeah.
Dick had one of the best jabs and one of the best short
snap jabs, quick ones. Yeah.
But when it was time for him to sell, just
recently,
yesterday,
the clip where he just fell onto the guy.
But when I sent Shawn a clip yesterday. Adonis and Murdoch versus the Samoans at the Garden. Oh man, did those guys bump their asses off? Everything the Samoans did, man, they multiplied it by 12. I never saw the Samoans work babyface.
This was Fatu and Samu.
No, it's Alpha Sika. Yeah, Samoans.
I'm thinking of head shrinkers.
This is when Adonis was wearing a leather jacket.
I'm thinking head shrinkers.
Incredible. Man.
I was on somewhat of a head shrinkers run.
Incredible. But like it's just those guys and the bumps that he would take going back. He would get tied up in the ropes going over to the outside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those
killing his shins.
Yeah,
killing his shins.
Those are always some of my favorite spots. You don't see those happen as much anymore.
But you think about those guys that
Andre the Giant spot.
Yeah, you think of those guys from that time, and I listen to a lot of other interviews and podcasts, and to me, I think the difference is, we look back on that as the greatest time in wrestling, the 70s, the 80s, the golden era, and you listen to some of these interviews by these guys, they didn't view the previous era as the golden time in wrestling because at that point in time, wrestling was so real to them, it was just a business. Mm-hmm. And for them, because it's a business, they had to be unique. They had to be that good. They had to make sure every person, that audience, believed it was real. Why? Because the business had respect and the business was protected. We know the industry now wide open, right? It's entertainment. But to me, because of that, I feel like it gives independent wrestlers the cadence to fuck around. That's my wholehearted opinion. Too many of them are fucking around playing wrestler than actually taking pride in their craft and making what this business is, and that is a business, which we are here to make money. We are here to draw people into the building. And to me, one of those parts of drawing people into the building is having that match where it's a fight. There were no wrestling moves when you watched Terry Funk wrestle Bruiser Brody.
Authentic.
It was a fucking fight.
I was just gonna mention that because I was listening to an interview yesterday, and Mrs. Goodish was talking about how she would ride her husband to the airport. She said, I would ride Frank Goodish to the airport, and he would kiss me, and he would say, goodbye, honey, take care, you know what to do, blah, blah, blah. He always gave me a set of instructions, and he always kissed me, and he never said goodbye. He said, I'll be right back. And I would literally watch him get out of the car. He would take the ponytail out. He would shake his head. And he left Frank Goodish in the car. He took one step onto that sidewalk. It was Bruiser Brody.
Protect your gimmick
And he said that's what he had to do
to feed his family.
Yep.
to feed the family.
High rolling.
That's what he had to do, man.
And that's not happening. And instead, what do we have? We've talked about this before, and Maff has said it. We have the guy that goes out and has that 8-minute stinker, and what is he doing? He's now walking through the crowd during the next match, being an idiot. You know what I mean? And it's like there's no, and again, this all goes hand in hand with being a professional in pro wrestling, right? I'm not saying don't go out there and sell your merchandise. I'm not saying do any of that type of stuff, but understand that what we do is a business. And if you ain't going to take yourself seriously in every means, and by means throwing strikes too properly, like you're not taking what we do as a legitimate art form that can be a moneymaker and can be a legitimate business for you if you perfect your craft the right way. Now, we always say perfect the craft, but we're never going to really perfect it because there's always so much to learn. The rules are going to change. We're going to evolve, but you got to be the very best that you can be. And we have too many people out there trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, saying they're this and they're that, and then they come to a show and watch these guys, and you're like, what the fuck am I watching? You know? And to me, again, strikes should be something that is held in high regard because it's one of the easiest things that tells a fan, that guy's bullshit.
Yep.
But that guy, he's fucking real.
And I got to keep watching.
Dan Maff is real.
I got to keep watching.
Because those chops make it seem like he's putting his fucking hand through his chest.
Leather.
You know,
It's leather on flesh.
your fucking Europeans are fucking literally taking a guy's head and giving him fucking spinal column damage by the way his head fucking
Let me
snaps
ask you a
back.
question. What's worse, the Euro
That's worse.
or the Yakuza?
The word what?
Honestly though, that drop kick was nice and fucking snug.
Because I can tell.
Okay,
I can tell.
is.
That was
That's
the
the
Yakuza
game.
right there.
Okay.
That was the Yakuza
There
right
it is.
there.
There it
No,
is.
no.
It looks like
There it
somebody
is.
put a
No,
cigarette out of it.
There it is.
No, this is
You know what that is? That's one. That's
How
one
long
of
did
the,
that would take us?
Yeah.
that's
didn't
one of
take us-
that's one of the holes in his boot
That's
on the side, man.
No, I
Ladies
look
and
like
gentlemen,
Terry. I look like Terry Funk in Japan after I put a new razor blade on this fucking thing.
people shivering like
Yeah.
Scooby Doo villains watching
But
this.
you see,
Yeah.
but then there's the psychopath that knows that it's gonna be snug and sticks his face out anyway for you. And says, "Come on."
Feeding the Euro, they feed.
Yep.
I like to call that feeding it.
Oh yeah, I was feeding those
That's what
fucking
I
those
do to
boots
you.
to the
I
fucking
tell you.
face
Yeah,
on
he
the
fed
ground.
tell you, I'll say,
People will
come
feed
on.
the Yakuzas too.
Yeah, I'll feed
You
'em.
you fed. I mean,
I'll tell you, I said,
the
"Come
fed was
on."
expert.
Because give and take, right? We're in a business. We're giving and taking, right? If you're gonna give for me, I gotta give for you. At the same token,
And it's a give-a-thon.
right? I can't give for you, and then when you give to me, I'm going, no, come on, man.
There was one point, pulled the rope. So put
gotta
your
put
leg in
the
the rope,
struggle.
pull the
Yeah.
rope. Put your arm in the rope, pull the rope. Right? There's a jab that happens. That jab happens. Now, a lot of guys, you might, and this is why you have to understand the science of a strike, right? You take a jab. Some guys will go all the way to another corner create all that distance, you have to think, what is going to cover that distance now? Either someone's got to run at somebody or I got to walk all the way over to you. That's time. You have to think of the science of the strike. He gives me the jab. What do? I take it, but then I feed. And then what happens? You take a moment, take advantage, and then we reset and move on to the next thing. Gives me that big cockback punch. You have to understand the science of a strike. Flair was great at, we always talk about the chops, but Flair positioned you with your chops.
Yep.
If Flair wanted to get you to the
position with a strike.
And this is why we were talking about the science of it, because when Flair wanted to get you to a corner, he didn't have to grab you, bring you over. Oh, hit your head on the buckle. Put you back there, which everybody does. We keep talking about unique, right?
Right.
Me, Euros, I can get a compliment on my Europeans for 20 years, whatever. That as long I know I'm doing my job, right? Doesn't matter, superplex, whatever, because you remember that. First, I have something that's distinct to me.
Yeah.
It could be a stomp, it could be a Euro, it could be a punch, it could be a spinning heel kick like Viscera, right? Mabel. You want to have something that's unique to you.
Yeah.
And you can position people wherever you need them. Flair could position you. Hey, I need you to a corner. Take the chop. Go to the corner. Authentic. Fans. Ooh. Now the person's in the corner. You're more interested than, let me slam your head.
Yeah. Like, okay, get somebody in a corner.
The science of it.
He might throw a chop. You might throw a Euro. I'm not much of a chopper. Not that I can't.
You don't. It doesn't.
But it doesn't have to be. But in a show where you're going to see a million friggin' chops, I'd rather get you in a corner. I'd rather push your chin back and give you a nice fucking wind up fucking forearm right to the chest.
Regal too. And,
Boom.
and openings. Openings.
Finding openings.
If I give you a Euro, if I give you a strike and it opens you and maybe you start blocking your head, am I going to try to punch you in the head? Am I going to go to strike you in the head? Or maybe I see your legs are open. Maybe I kick your knee now. Oh, now you have your knee. That exposes your head. I strike your head. Think of it like chess, like how people were calling
dissecting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how I would.
Surgery.
That's it. And then it's like, wow, he's technical.
And one of the questions that we had for each other was, you were like, I'm already doing this body part. I said, fuck it. I said, do 3. You're dissecting me, man. That's what you got to do. Dissect me. I'll be right there for you. Dissect it. You're committing surgery. You have the playbook, and you said it. That was a line that you said.
I have the blueprint on him.
Yeah, you said I have the blueprint on fucking with Danny Ma.
Yeah, because I wrestled
keeping him contained
so many times from 2015 at 5-ball wrestling to Warriors of Wrestling. That match. It's 2019.
I love that.
And anything we do in the ring, it's not like we invented it. Like we take it from the greats. And
BCW.
We make it our own. Like again, I talk about Maff, who I think is very underrated, where he's a guy that is unique to the industry with his size, and he knows how to use his body to his advantage. Right. Senton, cannonball in a corner. To me, those aren't moves. That's a strike. He's using his body as a legitimate weapon to throw himself at you with all fucking reckless abandon, because the goal is he's trying to win.
And he can do it to anybody.
Yep.
No matter how big you are, the Great Khali can do it to Micro Man. But doesn't matter how big or small you are.
But also
nimble or not.
making what he does legit. Like you said, he'd rather get punched once than have 10 punches missed by a mile. This is a guy that I watch will throw one stomp and will get his foot all the way in the air and come. Yep, just like the Iron Sheik, and just come crashing down on your chest instead of the guys that come in and they're like, and they throw these weak kicks. And I'm just like, how if I'm a legitimate performer here, I can't put that over. Because now I'm exposing myself at the end of the day.
That was bad. Now I got to get up.
Yeah.
And I got to get you with something.
Yes, because now
everybody back.
Because now what that kick is going to do, that kick that you threw at me, that barely touches me, is going to force me to get fired up, basically say, come on, motherfucker, is that the best you've got? And if you hit me with another one, I'm sorry, I'm coming back at you now.
And look, you have that strike, right?
Yeah.
Again, that's something that you can throw out, whether it's that punch, whether it's that jumping knee that you had, that elevated knee. Same thing with you. If you have the punch, you have the chop, right? For me, I have that Euro. So let's say we're in a brawl with someone, all right, and their strike is not good. They throw a punch that's bad. They throw an errant kick. They throw something. We go right to our strike. That Euro resets everything.
Yeah, because the sound, if the sell is right, it gets everybody in that crowd on all four sides back from going,
Yeah.
holy shit, that was fucking real.
The power of a
I'd
strike.
rather go home. I'd rather go home and live with a black eye for a week.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
a shredded lip.
Yes.
That's the thing is the shredded
Yes.
inner lip.
Like, dude, because if it's good enough, if you rocked me good enough, I will bump, or I will crumble to my face or to my ass. I will roll out, put that shit over, and push you away and roll out the ring.
Vulnerability. You will show.
But that's
vulnerability.
something that a lot of people refuse to do, man.
Ego.
Like, why would I not want to be vulnerable? Why would I not want to make myself vulnerable
so
in that
fun.
ring? We're telling a story. I love to bump my ass off, but just don't tell me you're gonna bump me for no reason. Just don't go in there and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna F5 you," and you weigh 160 fucking pounds.
Right.
And you don't even
There it is.
you know what I mean? Don't sit there and fucking say that to me. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Right, because you didn't explain it to me.
I'll
You're
bump my ass
fantasy
off for you.
booking.
I'll bump my ass off for you, but we're gonna make sense out of it.
Right.
We're gonna make sense out of it. What? Let's see how we get there. I mean, how are your strikes? Okay, well, that's how we're gonna get there, man. Let me fucking. I love to bump.
See yourself talking back to Brendan, what he had said and talking about. He didn't look at matches as, well, let me just see what I want to do with Shawn today. Feel like giving him this suplex today. It's like, no, I want to do this thing on him. He looked at it as, what would Bret Hart do against Shawn Donavan? Mm-hmm. You got to take yourself out of body almost and say, and that's how I look at it too. I really, that's how I've always looked at it with myself, with Darius Carter. Is I want to see myself, what would Darius Carter do against Shawn Donavan? It's not just, hey, it's Saturday, I think we should do this, Shawn. I know we can do this well. I know you got this good role and I got this good role. It's what makes sense for Darius Carter versus what would I want to see if I was a fan, right? Because the best wrestlers are fans.
Correct.
All right, the best wrestlers are. I'll say that again. The
We're all
best
fans.
wrestlers are fans.
That's
So the
what we were
wrestlers,
first.
the wrestlers that say I don't watch wrestling or you're
full of shit.
not making any sense. That's not a good thing.
If you're a
to
wrestler
say.
that doesn't
It's-
watch wrestling,
it's
then
not
that tells me you're not invested in the art form or you're just full of shit.
Right. When you say that to people, please don't think as a wrestler, when you tell people I don't watch wrestling, please don't think that you've gained a point. Please don't think that you got a green flag. Please don't think that you got closer to that person's inner circle. You have not. They might smile at you and laugh and hug you and kiss you on the cheek. But when you are a wrestler and you say that you don't watch wrestling, you do not sound informed, educated, or as someone who cares about what you do. Okay? Even if you watch older wrestling, watch wrestling somewhere of some kind and study it and implement it because there's room for that in the game today, but only if it's well polished, only if it's well crafted, because we got a lot of people kicking dirt.
Yeah, I mean,
in the
you,
mat,
and
we need
the
to get rid
beauty
of
and the
that.
reason
You know what
why
I mean?
you have to study wrestling is you
That
need
makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
you need to find the performers whose we talk about from a personality perspective, whose characters resonate with you as a person. But you got to study wrestling and its history to find out who are the strikers that you think you would be able to emulate best based on your ring style, your size, your cadence. That's why you got to study these guys. And if you don't know what a good strike looks like and you are a performer, that's where you need to go back to the drawing board and you've got to study.
Watch some Japan.
Yeah.
1992, 1993.
Stiffest year in wrestling.
Regal Hashimoto, and I look at and
one of the most legitimate matches in
just saw
history
something
you
on that
will
today.
ever see. There's a highlight reel of it.
Yeah.
and it was, and Regal doesn't post much, but he did, and he talked about it. And this is what we talk about, because the authenticity of strikes, I can't replicate it by grabbing you, hitting the suplex, grabbing you, hitting the powerbomb.
No.
If I give you that Euro, there's a snap. Oh, maybe you turn and something happens, right? Maybe that opens up something. Maybe, you feed yourself. Maybe you accidentally, when you're selling, you throw your arm up, hit yourself in the nose, right? Maybe that nose starts to flow a little.
Oh, that's what I want.
Now, a lot of guys look and say, come on now. Now, a lot of guys, all right, well, the next thing is up and over, duck one, hurricanrana. So what do they do? Let's talk about it.
Let's go home. I want to go home.
Let's talk about it. Oh, that's one part of it. That's one part. See, this is spicy. That's one part of it. The other part of it is, the other part of it is ignoring it entirely.
Yeah.
And then going into the next thing anyway. All right, well, the next thing's the up and over drop kick. So baby, we got money right there.
Yeah.
If I see that gush, maybe, and Regal sized that thing up, he came from the left, with a forearm. Nice and safe, brisk across the nose, protect yourself. The nose is stronger than we say now. Foof. And you see Hashimoto that throws the hair back, the wet hair. Guys, this is wrestling.
You know what that's
I'm
called?
gonna do? I'm gonna get that shit all over my tape.
Yep.
I'm gonna exhale as much as I can.
You know what that's called?
That's where you have a referee. Right? Is it okay?
Can you breathe? Can you breathe?
Is it twisted?
Ref is looking at the ring keeper, the bell keeper. Now we're talking legitimate now.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You know what that says
it's
to
time
me?
to ring the bell?
I'm being given a gift. That means whatever was put together before goes completely out the window because we were just given a gift and we're going to fucking make money from this. Red turns green. That's how it works.
Nice and easy.
You know?
Nice and brisk.
And when you study these guys, you study a Hashimoto. You can look at a Hashimoto and say, what the fuck does he do? He's wearing these fucking long fucking pants with a with the
belt.
The belt.
It's real. It's real.
Right.
He's believable.
Believable, yeah.
Now again, you look at the best strikers in the game are the ones that have always done shit differently.
Yep.
And that's what I love looking at, right? Very underrated striker, Ted DiBiase. Okay, he had a great punch. He had the drop fist.
His positioning.
His positioning was great.
Expert.
Jake Roberts, those jabs and that straight right after those jabs, money. You look at some hard hitters. Guys don't ever want to look at a guy like Steve Williams or a Terry Gordy, but those guys were very, very good strikers for their size.
But look how Terry would sell.
Yeah, Terry Gordy. Yeah. Oh, my God,
Nobody saw the punch like Terry.
No.
With that hair whipping back.
He'd sell it big for you, and then he'd throw a ham hook.
Right.
It looked active. That's the word for it.
I just watched him versus Flair yesterday.
Oh my goodness! And I keep listening. We keep bringing up Flair because of the versatility of Ric Flair. Yeah. This is the same Ric Flair that said, "Well, I wanted to learn better technical wrestling," so he went to Billy Robinson, and Billy taught him more techniques. That's how much you love the game. Forget just going to a plane accident and surviving that, let alone coming back to be the greatest professional wrestler of all time in my eyes, whatever the case may be. But he took that accident and came back and did that. But he wanted to grow so much that he said, well, I want to improve my game.
But Darius, look at the way you fucking happened. This fucking thing didn't happen by accident.
Study.
You know what I mean? I saw you at Beyond. Then I saw where you saw
me from the...
I saw that animal that came back from England. Was it England?
Yeah.
I saw that animal that came back. He was totally different. I said, I don't know what the fuck they did to that boy over there. But he is coming back. And I would always say, I was like, look at Darius. Darius on his own level.
Johnny Kidd happened.
Yeah.
Johnny Kidd happened. Amen to you. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah. And you look at the guys that study. Okay, you look at a Triple H, one of the greatest strikers in the game. Why? He learned from the right people. And the problem is we don't have independent wrestlers today to learn from those people, but you do have the veterans that are out there that can teach you. The problem is the mentality has changed, and while the evolution of the industry has changed and it's more of a fast-paced type wrestling, you still got to have your circus. You're going to have your high-flying matches, but you got to have those two big guys that can throw bombs at one another. You got to have your Regal Hashimoto-style match where you're going to mix technical wrestling and you're going to mix some good fucking striking. They
want it.
But we don't have a lot of talent out there that that want to learn that. They're so busy rushing through the strikes just to get to the transition, just so they can hit that fucking Canadian, that they're not in the moment to make that strike look like $1 million. And that, to me, is I see a very, very big opportunity in our industry for independent wrestlers to learn how to be better. Stop trying to put the cart before the horse. Stop trying to go 1,000,000 miles an hour just you can get that fucking move for your highlight reel. Well, guess what? If you throw a damn good strike and that person can sell that for you, there's your highlight reel clip in itself. Because to me, okay, you could do a Canadian Destroyer and dump a guy on his head, but why'd you have to go through all that to get to that? Where if you set your opponent up right, grabbed him by his long hair, pulled his chin back, and nailed him with a forearm to the side of the neck that could legitimately jar him and maybe give him a concussion, well, to me, what hurts more? Fancy move or just a nasty strike that is supposed to look like a fight? I mean, to me, the best wrestling to me was always a mixture of a fight and technical wrestling, because that's, to me, what real pro wrestling is. It's a chess game.
In the sands and Greece.
It's a contest. And when shit looks overly choreographed to me, it tells me you're focused more on the bullshit than you are on what the actual art form of what we do is at the end of the day. And again, people could say I'm antiquated to the nth degree. That's okay, because I might still be here in 10 years where you might have a broken neck from all the bullshit you did in your 5-year career.
You plant a seed,
so.
you water it, it grows into a tree, the tree stands.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. A lot of things die around that tree, and that tree is still standing for a reason.
That's right.
I heard Tom Pestock this week talking about
Oh, man,
talking about Trick Williams.
I've preached
And
to choirs about Baron Corbin.
On how there was a time where they had to work, and it was him and Trick, and it was, hey, we'll just figure it out there. And he said Trick would just have like this look in his eyes, and the agent would come over and say, hey man, you can't do that with him yet. He's not there yet. He's a great listener. He's an athlete. He listens, but you cannot just say, "Hey man, we'll figure it out there." Like he's not there yet.
Yeah. He will urinate in all of his trunks.
It's got to be a level. There's got to be but look at Trick now.
Yeah.
Trick has been baptized under
Baptized
fire,
by
bro.
fire. Oh, it's the best way to learn. That's what Beyond was. Baptism by fire.
He started with Mello. And then he went baptism under fire, man. He had do you think those matches with Ilya didn't do nothing to him? He found himself. He found himself working guys like Braun Breaker. He found himself working guys like Mello. He found all of these programs that he's had. All of these fights that he had with Santana, man, those matches were incredible. They all led up to what he is now.
And baptism by fire, for people who may not understand what that means, baptism by fire is learning through the grit, being walked through. If you've ever had a great match and you don't know what happened, you don't know how it happened or why it happened, but you know it was a great match, you were baptized by fire. Yeah. Because you were led through a match. And you're just like, wow, everything. It may not have been what you planned or what you thought, but you're like, wow, everything went so great. I just don't even know what happened. You were just baptized because you were taken to the edge.
And that's why young wrestlers have to embrace when they work somebody like you or Maff or me or any of the other veterans that are out there. Yeah, you're so used to calling A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
The alphabet soup.
The alphabet soup. Okay. Go out there and challenge yourself with not a goddamn thing planned.
You ever taken a Falcon Arrow before?
And just not even go on, but just go on feel.
And not even challenge. Have shit hit the fan.
Yeah. And
have something go wrong.
Yep. And then try to still make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Minimize the moves. A challenge for that. How about,
Let a crowd flip on you.
Mm-hmm. 3 moves. I'm gonna go through this match today. I know that the crowd is. We're not again. Depending on your level of experience, we can talk like this. But I know the crowd is going to be 100 people. I know the crowd is going to be 75 people, whatever it's going to be. I know that I'm wrestling in this particular place, and they see me often. You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to put 3 moves. There's only going to be 3 moves I'm going to do, physical moves. So if that's a suplex, that's a move. And I'm going to commit myself to that. So it's a 10-minute match. Do a match with 3 moves. So if you want to save those off for the tail end, the falsie, do that. Mm-hmm. So that means I need to work on what? My strikes, my positioning.
And selling.
Because I tell you what, if again, you run something wrong, you go for a leap and you trip on the rope and you stumble into my arms, what am I going to hit you with? European. Yep. Boom. And now we've reset and we're back to it. But I need you to sell. Because the better you, selling, a sell a day keeps a bump away.
That's true.
What? I said a sell a day
keeps a bump away.
Mr. My lower back hurts, so can we watch this bump?
Yep.
Hey, my rib hurts. Can we watch this bump? Yep. Well, baby, if you sell,
you want to know
you won't have to worry about any of that. Isn't that amazing?
One of my favorite drills.
Isn't that amazing?
One of my
I'm coming in with a bum knee. My neck hurts. I didn't get much sleep. I drove to the venue 3 hours. My kid called me crying in the phone. My girlfriend's breaking up with me, but she's going to be in the front row, so I got to get this 450 in. But other than that, she hasn't seen me do one before, but she's been really nice this week. So, all these variables. Yeah. Hey, Chris. Just throwing a name out there. Hey. I'm gonna walk you through this.
You wanna know one of my
favorite? Can you sell?
One of my favorite drills are that I learned early on.
What? I said, can you sell?
That I do with my students. I do a drill, 2 minutes, and you get 5 strikes. A heat drill. Show me how to expand 120 seconds, and you only get 5 strikes. I'm being generous giving you 5 strikes, but it teaches you separation. It teaches you intent. It teaches you how to sell. And it teaches you how to get somebody in position to do 5 different strikes. And that's how it's part of the reasons you learn. But we're not teaching enough of that in a lot of schools. What we are teaching is, let's do this crazy spot. Hey, let's do this crazy blow-up drill where I'm going to make you do all this shit for 3 minutes. And that's great. You have to do that at time to time to build your ring cardio, ring wind up. But what are we doing in drills to teach our students how to work and how to work correctly, to tell different stories in the ring instead of letting the inmates run the asylum?
How to be comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah. How to be comfortable with uncertainty as well.
Yes,
uncertainty
as well. Yeah. Yes.
How to be comfortable in that silence.
Yeah. When you aren't sure what's next. Listen. Wrestling This Man, and I'm sure you saw it. Have you seen it yet?
Which one?
Me and no.
Not yet, but I'm waiting for it to come out. I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to take my time watching it.
Title match, 1999.
Let me tell you something. 1999, 1986. 1986. What? 1986, I said.
Good Lord.
We're talking about not particularly knowing what's next, but trusting what's next. Because the crowd is reacting. The crowd is saying, okay. If they're not doing that, then okay, change it up.
And there are times they were quiet, but they weren't dead quiet. They were quiet.
Respectfully quiet.
It's that respectful, that the Japan quiet.
Next.
And again, guys, another skill to learn. We talk about strikes as well. We talk about listening to the crowd, looking at the crowd, finding ways to look at the crowd. There's ways to cheat and look at the crowd. And when I say cheat, I mean look at the crowd and make it not obvious. When you're on the mat, roll over on your side. Look, what are they doing? Are they leaning forward? Are they leaned back? Are they reclined? What's going on? Are they looking at your face, which is the goal? And I love, if I can see them looking at my face, that's why you're creating those facials, Regal, Bockwinkel, okay? Because you want to assume that someone's looking at you at all times. Someone's always looking at your face. Someone in a room of 70 people, someone's looking at your face. There may be one person, maybe a kid, it may be a grandmother. Someone's looking at your face. So You're selling your face. There's emotion, but you're also using them to study. Hey, what's that kid doing? That kid's really active. That kid's active. That makes the parent active because the parent brought the kid. The dad brought his daughter and the daughter's up in arms and the dad's just going to sit there with his arms folded? Like, I hate this. No, he's with his kid. He's got to go with his kid. Involve the dad. Now you've got the kid and the daughter, and now that creates the neighboring people next to them are like, wow, he got this family, and now everyone's reacting off of one thing that you did. This is all from looking at the crowd. This is all from watching them because they're watching you, and you dictate the pace. That's what real people say. Someone's methodical. They don't know what methodical means. Methodical isn't slow. Methodical isn't just keeping a reduced pace. Methodical is, okay. I see why he did that. Oh, he stomped him in the ankle. And then the guy left his head open. And then he kicked him in the head. That's methodical. Oh, he only did this to set this up. Everything he's doing, we got to watch this guy. Because the moment I look away, he might step on something else and I miss it. Now you're making the fans, you're giving them no option but to stay engaged. Mm-hmm. It's again, that feeling when Maff gets in the ring and that feeling of danger, parental advisory, you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's how you can go 10, 20, 30 years and still have that element of unpredictability.
Correct. Yep.
Same thing with you. All of us, that old school style, there's an element of unpredictability because even though you think you know what we're going to do, you don't know what it's going to be.
And that's because
anything can go off the walls at any time because it's all about how we feel that night.
And that's why they call it old school, because those old school workers would go from town to town to town. And you know what the promoter would say? Yeah, you guys got 20 minutes. Give me a roll up. You know what they say to each other? See you out there. Because it's the element of uncertainty. They don't know how that crowd's going to react. They don't know what they're looking for. They're not. Ricky Steamboat's not sitting there saying, I'm going to hit you with about 3 arm drags. He don't know until he gets out there if he's even going to do an arm drag. He knows he's probably going to get it in there somewhere. He just doesn't know where. But he's going to listen to that crowd, and his opponent's going to listen to that crowd, depending on who he's working, right? You're working a George Animal Steel, you're probably not giving George Animal Steel an arm drag, but you might give him that fucking top rope tomahawk chop.
Okay.
You might do a baseball slide, hit him with a drop kick, and he might powder to the outside.
You still got the chops to position him where you need to.
You might fight on the outside, right? You're Jake Roberts and you're working fucking SD Jones. Okay, you're not having a 20-minute technical classic out here.
He can.
He can, but you're probably not going to.
Right.
But what you are going to get is you're probably going to get the most solid 8 to 10 minutes out of SD Jones by having a fight, because that's what he knows how to do best. And I know we could go on for hours. We're getting towards the nitty gritty because we know the producer's got to get home and he's got to have his baby formula ready to go if he gets kicked out. But
shout out Bam Bam Lawrence Taylor, by the way, real quick. Yep. I had to say it, Bam Bam Lawrence Taylor.
That's it,
because come on, man.
Hey,
you want to talk about strikes? Probably him and Harley Race, the best headbutters in my opinion, history. But
Harley the stalling headbutt.
The stalling headbutt. Yep, the delayed headbutt. But I gotta go because I think this is something good that I think people could take from, right? I want to go around the table. Start with you, Darius.
We love it.
Top 5 strikers in your opinion, history of wrestling.
That's okay. Off the top of that, William Regal.
That's one.
Tajiri.
You gotta pause.
Well, we gotta pause. Why?
I gotta pee.
Oh my goodness, he's racist.
I swear to God.
He's racist.
Oh dear Lord.
I'm showing my age.
That's a bulldog. A live departure during the actual.
We'll call that a blooper.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's a blooper, right?
And we're not editing this either.
What is that?
We're not editing this either. Producers, what? We're not editing this either. We're gonna go round robin, but we'll stall. Hey, look.
We'll stall for time.
We're stalled for time right now.
So let's talk
top 5 strikers.
Top 5 strikers.
Yep.
All right. So William Regal.
Okay, that's one.
I have to put up there. I have to put Tajiri off the top of my head because every single thing was absolutely flush. Mm-hmm. Every single strike, every single kick. Mm-hmm. You could build a whole moveset off of it. The handspring, I got to give it all to him.
Okay.
There's so many guys.
I know.
It's
tough,
hard
right?
to. I don't want to take a spot and shout him out. I want to put Jerry on there. Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk about him. We didn't get a chance, but he is
Jerry
great,
because
incredible,
Jerry could have entire matches off of a punch. When you could literally have an entire contest.
I had to turn my little stinger.
You had to. Okay, I hope you wash your hands. Wait, all right. All right. Is that the okay? Wash, you gotta check his hands. All right.
Number 3.
So
Jerry Lawler.
Who I said Jerry Lawler. All right. So my 5 guys. I said William Regal to Jerry Lawler. This could change, but some of them, but Regal wouldn't change. You know what's gonna sound crazy? All right. I really like Christian.
Okay.
I really like Christian in the terms of he has great in terms of how he uses his strikes. He's great at setting things up. So if he wants to give you a strike and put himself in a corner, he uses his strikes very methodically. I wish more people studied that because he doesn't have to move you. Again, there's the very pedestrian walk you to the corner, throw you off. We see it all the time. We see it on TV. He has a way of, he can give you one good slap to the face. You're in the corner. He meets you there. He could give you one good shot. He positions you like chess with his strikes. So not that he's a brawler type, but in terms of how he uses his strikes, I'm a very big fan of that.
Okay.
So I'm a very big fan of how he incorporates that.
Got it.
I probably got Paul Orndorff is just a tremendous.
Okay. Yes.
So I guess I got to put Paul
right.
Orndorff just in terms of every time that man made connection with you. I felt like he could kind of stick and move with anything.
All right. There's your 5.
Yeah,
I like it.
You asked me it again. Some of them may change.
It may change.
But I just love. I like striking for different reasons. It's not just the hardness of it or the precision of it. It's the story that you're telling. See, I miss Finley because I want to put Finley in there too. See, there's so many. It's hard to say. I want to put Fit. I miss Fit. Oh well.
All right,
Go ahead,
the gorilla over here, the top 5 for the gorilla.
I would definitely say Fit Finley.
Yeah.
All right, there's one.
Everything means something. I love to watch Triple H's strikes.
Yeah.
But I think that the most devastating striker in history is probably Kawada.
Okay, that's 3. Okay.
Dick Slater.
Yeah.
4.
Mako Satomura. Can we get that scorpion kick? It's so many people are
That kick
emulating
ate,
it.
brother.
So many people are trying to emulate it now, and she was doing that stuff in NXT UK. The best hour of wrestling, brother. It was NXT UK. I would watch it Thursday when it came because it came out Wednesday, and I watched it Thursday. Mako Satomura's run as NXT UK champion. Guys, we're talking about physicality that made you had to sit at the edge of your seat. If you were laying down, you might not even know you're sitting up. You're sitting up.
All right, that's 4 for you, Mav. You need one more.
And I say, I have 2 more. Like it's just
go for it. Go throw them out there.
Roman and Brock.
Yeah.
Just the 2 most believable.
Roman, another one, positioning with his strikes.
Everything means something.
Yep.
Everything.
And Brock is just so legit.
Yep.
I mean, that's.
I want to hear. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's gonna list the Southerners.
We're going down.
We're gonna get Dick Murdoch. We're gonna get.
We said 4. I'm gonna give you my 5. Okay. Like you with Regal.
Yes.
For me, it's Terry Funk.
Yes.
That list may change. Funk will always be number 1 there because of his versatility of his punches, but how he could sell punches.
Yeah.
To me, he'll always be number 1 in my book.
No, you said striker.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. So he could strike. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, Bret Hart. The believability. That he wasn't called the excellence of execution for no reason.
That's
you know what I mean? The snap on every strike he did, from a headbutt to a elbow to a punch to a European
kitchen sink.
Yep, kitchen sink, a back elbow, right? Number 3, off the top of my head, we didn't get a chance to talk to him about him that much. Dynamite Kid. Another man with snap and fire and intensity behind Every back elbow, every headbutt had precision and snap, and there was no wasted movement with him. I think number 4 for me on that list, and this is going to sound weird because I'm a Bret Hart fan, but Shawn Michaels had some of the best punches.
Yeah.
He knew how to fire and get the heel in position with him as a babyface to then get taken out.
And leathery
Just
chops.
by striking.
Leathery chops.
And number 5, to me, is a guy that doesn't get talked enough about because of how wide his strikes are, but how much precision he had with his strikes. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon.
I thought of Scott Hall, too. That's so funny.
You know, the wind up all the way
The
back.
whip.
And, okay, you talk about a guy that may have slapped his leg. You never saw
you
it.
never
You
saw
didn't
it.
see it.
You never
No, he was
saw
the
it.
original where you didn't see it.
No, you didn't see,
didn't
it.
see it.
And Scott was to me, the epitome of somebody who could throw 2 strikes being in this corner, and by the second strike, in a 20-foot ring, you're all the way in the other corner. And there was no wasted movement on anything he did. And I'll throw a number 6 out there because kind of in the same vein, a lot of people don't necessarily see it. Undertaker.
Undertaker, great. And
Great
the movement.
fucking strikes, man.
No,
Like,
people weren't moving like him either.
no,
with
not
the
for a guy
strikes.
his 6'9", 6'10".
6'10", and just
You know?
movement. The way he hit the ropes, different.
know?
Look at the way Undertaker would hit the ropes. There's a science to everything.
Yep.
How you hit it, he throw his back into
Yeah.
it so that when he rebounded, you duck one, duck another one, flying clothesline.
But there's too many to list. But I know at the end of the day, the 3 of us could come back here tomorrow, and the list would be completely different.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's how you know.
But that's the beauty of being able to watch on any given day. Like I can tell, there's days I wake up on a Sunday and be like, man, I'm in a Scott Hall mood today. I'm gonna watch some Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Or hey, I'm in a Terry Gordy mood today. I'm gonna just throw on some World Class and just watch them throw bombs. Or hey, I'm gonna go turn on All Japan. I'm gonna watch him and Terry Gordy against fucking Dynamite and Johnny Smith.
Just the way they work the crowd, even ringside too. I wish more people studied that.
Yeah.
Even the work on the ring side, it's not just doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
There's a reason. When you're working in front of the people, guys, your strikes got to be on point.
I agree.
Don't do these fights. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's not do crowd brawls because people think, oh, let's do a crowd brawl. It's an easy way to get a reaction. So, yeah, now it's going to be a good one. Okay? If your striking game is not proficient, if you are not in the A category, B at worst, do not go in front of people throwing strikes because you're right in front of their face.
Yep.
Don't expose the business because trust me, they're talking to each other and like, this is oh
Listen,
my goodness.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
If you're gonna take me out the guardrail,
come on.
okay. If you're gonna take me out the guardrail, and now we go on live action in front of the people, we're in the people.
Right there, they can touch you.
We're going
They
live
can
rounds.
they can touch you.
We're
They
going live rounds.
Yeah.
We'll apologize later.
Yeah,
because
we'll
you
talk
have
about
no
that.
choice at that point because now you have to protect your credibility.
Yeah.
You have to protect your opponent's credibility. And if they throw one thing that looks like shit, I'm cutting you off and throwing you back over the fucking guardrail. We're getting the hell out of Dodge because I'm not about to expose myself or you or the story we're telling.
The Allfather throwing baby strikes, throwing Rugrats strikes.
Nope.
We can't do that.
No.
Throwing Tommy Pickles punches. No. We don't do that here, guys. And we can't be selling that because the crowd is looking at that. You give me one of those little feather duster shots in front of the crowd, I got to give you the euro to turn. Oh, and it's like because it's the Allfather. It's right. Danny Maff. Danny Maff. Somebody's got you out there. They give you a chop, and the chop doesn't make any noise. There's nothing. It's just sometimes you just throw one of those chops and there's no noise. There's no impact. Doesn't look good. Maff is a professional. I got a split window to turn this around. Oh, boom. Okay, wake him up. Can't just sit there, make him look bad. Hey, we got to cover this up. Here's my strike. And the crowd, and everyone, the kid, from anyone ages 3 to 30 to 50, the power of strikes. We're bringing this full circle, guys. The power of strikes is you can tell a story. Terry Funk could wrestle a match without having to do the move until the end. Oh, here's the spinning toe hold, but I don't need it till the end. Maybe I'll throw a pile driver in, but I could punch, kick, and wheel my way around the ring. Ric Flair, same way. You talk about Rick having the same matches. Baby, Rick didn't need to throw himself to the corner and go over the top all the time with Terry because they flowed so well that you don't even... Some of the best matches you have, and I'll just say this, and then you take it over, some of the best matches you have are the matches where you don't get to some of the stuff that you talked about because it was so crispy, it was so raw, it was so authentic that you got there and the bell rang and it was over and you created the masterpiece without even needing to go where you thought you needed to go. We saved all that stuff. We could do that another time. We took 3 things out of the match we didn't need.
How many times do you have to have that conversation with the worker when you come back through the curtain? And it's like, see, and we didn't even have to do all that. We didn't even need all of that. We had it, man. We weren't going any higher than that. It was my call. My bad.
Not bad, nothing. You might say my bad in the moment, but trust me, you look at it back and you're going to know that was correct because you added 10 minutes for what?
Or we went short because I thought we couldn't get him any higher than what we had him because we had got a gift.
Yep.
That's right.
Because I got busted open.
Yeah, take it there. Yep.
Because the top rope broke.
Yeah, take it there.
Or the bottom rope
Or
broke.
something.
Take it there.
Okay.
And a
so
lot of your spots had the rope
We weren't
involved.
going to get any higher than that, so we went home. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all want to learn something? Do yourselves a favor. Do yourselves a favor and watch Harley Race versus Terry Funk for the NWA title in New Orleans. 60 minutes. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Holla at me.
That
Let's
being
talk about it.
said, episode 15 in the
In
books.
the books, baby.
Thank you for joining
XV.
us
Happy
on a
Turkey
card
Day.
subject to change. We will see you all back for episode 16. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Independent wrestlers, study and work on your strikes. And we are out.